Okay, hi everybody. Let's talk turkey. Let's lay it right down here on the line. Let's tell it like it is and be honest, okay? A lot of times in my live streams, I do live streams, people come on and we talk about Taylor Swift, and inevitably her name comes up because she's so intrusive on the charts today. She's the biggest thing going and shows no signs of ever quitting, and it gets tiresome for other people. I had trouble about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, trying to buy the new Rolling Stones CD. And whenever I went into my local record store, all I saw were Taylor Swift CDs and albums, vinyl, all kinds of things, but nothing on the Rolling Stones on CD. And that was very frustrating. And now she does the ultimate thing. She completely pulled a fast one, so to speak, by denying the Beatles a number one position this week, today, on the official UK album charts. Now, let me give you a little background here why I'm so annoyed about this. First of all, the idea is when it comes to charts, whether it's the US Billboard charts or whether it's the UK official charts, they always tell you in the news a few days or maybe a week even ahead of time what songs, if it's a single, or what albums, if it's a complete record album, are poised to be number one or number two or number three. They seem to know days in advance. And all of the hype said the Beatles are on target to be number one with their Blue album, 67 to 70, 2023 edition. And they're all poised to be number two, as you can see here, the Red album, 62 to 66. They should be number one and number two, respectively, this time on the official UK album charts. And so my heart was, and I'm sure a lot of you out there who are Beatle fans were expecting the same thing. I was going around saying to everybody, it looks like the Beatles are going to have the top albums. We have to see. It's not official yet. It won't be official until Friday, November the 17th, and that's today. I told them it wouldn't be official till today's Friday. Today's Friday, November 17th. It's official, and the official word is Taylor Swift with her 1989 titled album, or Taylor's version, or whatever the hell it's called, now for the third consecutive week remains at the number one spot on the official UK charts. Now, if I had been prepared for this, if they didn't promise us, if they didn't lead us to be thinking that for sure it was just a matter of being official, that the Beatles were going to be the top, I wouldn't be as upset about it as I am. But I'm disappointed because I was looking forward to it. And of course, I'm manning up and saying I'm kind of annoyed about it. Now, please consider this. I didn't have to make this video. I didn't have to admit that I was uptight about this. I didn't have to admit that I was annoyed as hell. And I will tell you, and I mean this only in the sense of, how do you say this? Friendly rivalry, fandom friendly rivalry and bragging rights, banter back and forth, that Taylor Swift is now on my poop list. Okay, she is officially on my poop list, to keep it a kind word. Okay, because before it was just a matter of me getting fed up with seeing her overexposure everywhere and constantly only seeing her records everywhere, and talking about a person that's been around for 15 years or something, is very popular, and whose face is plastered everywhere and has supposedly a lot of great songs, of which I've heard a few and I just don't see it and hear it. I don't know where these great songs are in the iconic sense. I don't know, but it used to be just that would annoy me, that she was everywhere. Now I'm annoyed because now she's denied the Beatles their number one spot. The Beatles, what's interesting about this is these reissues, the red and the blue, do I have them handy here to show? Well, you know what they look like, right? The red and the blue albums that are now out. Back in 1973, they came out, and the same thing happened back in 1973. The Blue album was number two on the US Billboard charts, or was maybe British as well. I don't know, but all I know is the Blue album was number two on the charts, whatever chart it was, and the Red album was number three. That was 50 years ago in 1973. Now the same thing has happened. Taylor Swift stays at number one. The Beatles have the Red album at number two. The Blue album at number two, excuse me. I told you, I'm trying to get this straight. I'm sorry, folks. Taylor Swift at number one, the Blue album at number two, the Red album at number three. It's an exact rinse and repeat of what happened 50 years ago. The Beatles were on target to have their 16th number one album. They've still got more than anybody else, I think. 15 albums. 15 albums is still, I think, a record. But, and I'll say what I always say here, folks. You knew I was going to say the following, okay? Even though the Beatles didn't make number one on the UK charts with the Blue Album, I must say, obviously, the Beatles being number two and number three behind Taylor Swift in 2023 is in a way a much bigger achievement over the decades for a band who broke up 53 years ago. The question remains, will Taylor Swift, 50 or so years after she's done recording officially and after she's had all these old songs, will that album be number 2 or 3 on the modern charts? I doubt it. So that is a bigger achievement, but I'm not trying to pretend that I'm not downright perturbed and ticked off that we were denied this joyous moment. Now, I'm going to say, of course, in addition to all my snarkiness, I do congratulate Taylor Swift. This is, a good thing. And, even the Beatles couldn't get up there. They were almost up there. Number 2. But, be ready for it, folks, because I'm going to have fun. We can tease each other. You can tease me back. I'll tease you. I don't mind. Let's have some fun here. As I say, bragging rights, friendly rivalry. There used to be a friendly rivalry between the Beatles and the Stones in the 60s. Well, now there's a friendly rivalry between Taylor Swift and the Beatles. How dare you, Taylor, how dare you deny the Beatles their just number one spot for the Blue reissue album? How dare you? Well, anyway, it happens, folks. As I say, I could have just simply said nothing, didn't have to make the video at all. You wouldn't even know any of this. You'd say, oh, I wonder how Joe Mayo's feeling about this. And when it would come up in discussion and conversation in a live stream or something, I'll say, yeah, I'm disappointed, but congratulations. I just blow it off. I don't do that. I tell you when I'm proud, I tell you when I'm pissed, and I tell you when I'm jealous and disappointed, which I am. But I still want to see Taylor Swift pull this off 50 plus years from now herself, be number 2 and number 3, the number 2 and number 3 albums. But this means war, folks, in a friendly, figuratively speak way. Okay? What a disappointment.